top prop bets in NBA today, as well as some college basketball and some NHL bets. Let's get into it. All right, looking at the board for today, we do have a full board. We got NBA, we got PGA, and we got NHL and college basketball. Okay, with that being said, like, sure, it's not going to be as perfect prop wise as we'd want, but we do have 3 props that are going to be better than any props that we had yesterday. Well, there's 2 that are really standing out, and one that to me is a little bit better than the ones that we had yesterday. But first, we're going to start out with the NBA props. We do have a full NBA board. Obviously, the games are going to be on Thursday. Okay, so with that being said, the projections that are coming in on my tool are going to be based off of their average minutes right now. So as it sits right now, some of the NBA props I'll touch on could change. Just FYI there, because it's going off of the average projected minutes because, well, we still have 2 days until injury reports come out and whatnot, and all that stuff. You got players still signing that contract buyout like Kevin Love, Russell Westbrook. You know, there still are some moving pieces. Got to figure out stuff like LeBron, Giannis. Are they going to be injured and whatnot? Are they going to be playing? Stuff like that. Or players, I guess, like Chris Middleton, for example, are they going to be back without a minutes restriction? You know, stuff like that. So looking at it right now, just looking at the prop board that I'll pull up here, so we can see we are getting some okay bets, but none of them are going to be locking those. And why is that? I mean, it's kind of simple. Like, they are releasing these props this early for a reason. PrizePicks feels like these are the ones that have the least amount of variance to them, pretty much. They feel confident that they can put out a good line that is going to be difficult to game. Okay, so we'll try to do it, but we can see, like, looking at the best like over bet that we're getting, it's Evan Mobley over 2.5 assists, and we can see that's at -127. So really not a good start, right? We can see he's only projected to get 2.6. Now, this stuff can all change throughout the week. You know, once again, their projected minutes are based off of their average minutes, okay? Just as an FYI. So looking at it, we can kind of see why it's being favored as the over slightly, but it's definitely not something that we are like gung-ho about, going like crazy with, right? And that's going to be true for really all these props that we are seeing here. Like, none of them are going to be lock and load prop bets, okay? And I just want to call that out. Now, if we go for the under, I find this extremely interesting. Tobias Harris under 8 rebounds. And we look at the average sportsbook line set at 8. We look at PrizePicks line set at 8. Projected to get 8.3, which is the annoying part because the under is set at -143. That's a pretty high number, right? And so we can see, like, all the projection data would suggest that he is probably going to get over. Sorry, this is for rebounds and assists. Sorry. But we can see all the projection data is saying that he should be able to get over this number. And I just don't like the fact that the over is being favored still. And so I just want to make this clear. Like, all the lines that we are getting are very tight, like projection wise, very tight. Like, all the ones where the unders are favored here as well, we can see not a big edge there. Okay, so those are all tight. You know, if you felt the need to make one, if you feel like one of those are standing out, by all means, go for it. I personally don't see a big edge with those ones. Here's one that I find very interesting. Okay, so it's going to be Kevin Looney, just rebounds in general. Okay, so PrizePicks has their line set at 9.5. Some of the sports books, and I'll pull up DraftKings, will have their line at 9.5. And DraftKings has it set at -130. I saw another one out there at 9.5 -140. And I also saw another one that had the line set at 10.5 rebounds, but then they were favoring the under by -130. So that is why we are seeing the tight spread here, okay? But it's set at 9.83, the average sportsbook line. So I would say that the over would be the move. But once again, when we're going off of average minutes, we can see that it's not aligning. And once again, with NBA bets, what do we want? We want the over line, or let's just say the favorable line when it's over under, and the projection to be matching up. And if they can correlate in a strong way, that's what we want. That's when we hammer the bet. Obviously, we're not getting that. They wouldn't give us those right now. Okay, that's going to come out on Thursday. And sure, we might get a couple here and there, but as it sits right now, not perfect. Now, here's the interesting one, and I still don't love it, because the average sportsbook line has, this is crazy, Sabonis set at 13.2 rebounds. Yet the projection is a little bit lower than that, and PrizePicks has it set at 13. So we can see a lot of discrepancies here that I typically do not like. So that's really my long way of saying, yes, we could make some educated prop bets for NBA, right? I just feel like we should wait until we're getting better numbers that are out there, right? It seems like we'd be forcing all these bets in there, but I did want to cover it for those that are coming in for the NBA side of it, for those that are excited that the props are out there, because I was too. Okay, so I get it. I just want to make sure we're making the best educated decisions we can possible. So now let's go ahead and get into one NHL bet. It's all right. Okay, and this is where I adjusted from saying we had 3 strong bets to 2 because this one is good. It's just not perfect. And if you guys did the NHL bets yesterday, they should have went 2 for 3, except for the first one. Travis, I don't know how to say his last name, got injured in the second period, had 2.5 shots on goal, or had 2 shots on goal in 2 periods, 2.5 periods. Most likely would have got there. And by lineup lock, it was favored at like -148, I think, across the board for the over. So like we got a great number there. And that was just frustrating. Obviously, stuff like that happens. That's why it's gambling. You can't predict injuries and whatnot. But that felt very unlucky. And I felt like I did a good job of explaining, this is a day in which we're playing to really just have a bet out there, have fun. And today, obviously, with Taco Tuesday, we want to be chasing the best odd bets that we're getting, okay? And hopefully, by the time I come out with my Taco Tuesday video, which will be about an hour left of the second taco being available, we'll have some really strong ones. But with that, the first taco, and I assume they're going to do 3 tacos, probably all for NHL. We'll see. Maybe college basketball as well. We'll see how that goes. But I just want to give us some educated prop bets that we can make with those tacos as well. Now, guys, these will change throughout the day, but the best prop bet we're getting, and it's pretty true across the board, is looking at Martin here, over 2.5 shots on goal. The number across all the sports books, and this is a consistent message that we're getting, so it's set at -135, which once again we want to shoot for at least -137. That's when we're gaining an edge on PrizePicks. But at -135, not terrible. It is the best hockey bet that we are currently getting. The under is set at +104, and we can see DK Sportsbook a little bit lower, -130, but still favoring the over there. And then just looking at it right here, pulling up his game log, just looking at it, and this is kind of what worries me, is that there's a lot of games in which he only gets 1 shot on goal, and stretching there, we're only getting 2. So to me, I don't feel like it's a lock and load. Okay, and so that's why I was kind of hesitant to say like 3 strong bets. It's a good bet. It's not like a lock and load though. And while we're here talking about NHL bets, the best one really on the board today would be Owen Tippett over 2.5 shots on goal. And it's far from a lock and load, but I always mention like the -137 number is the number that we want to shoot for to really gain an edge on PrizePicks, and in this case, Underdog. And so just looking at it, and it's early on in the day, guys, and I want to point this out right now. And so this is one of those situations before you make this prop bet, okay, you want to wait until really as late as possible, it seemed like. So the line opened up at -138, and collectively, it's still sitting at that. But if we look at DK Sportsbook right now, set at -120, so still favoring the over. But we can see, like I'm showing this because it adjusts throughout the day. I want to make that clear. Some of these lines get better throughout the day, and then they get taken away, which happens a lot. And some of them might get worse throughout the day. That's kind of the gambling part, and that's kind of the unfortunate part of doing it like this. But a lot of times we can gain an edge by doing it this way. So maybe just a wait and see approach. If you guys are liking this bet, just make sure to check the lines like DK Sportsbook or something like that prior to placing the bet. All right, so as it sits right now, we got 2 bets for college basketball that are favored at -140. So that's going to be a pretty strong number. So with the line at -140, we're pretty much getting a 58.3% chance for that to hit. And the under is set at +105, which is about a 49% chance. So obviously, when we're looking at lines like this, there is juice that's associated with the sports books. That's pretty much how they make their profit. But Kelly is currently sitting at -140 over 3.5 rebounds, and we can see the under +105. Now, if we pull up his game log, I don't love the fact that he only averages 3.6. And if we look at his game log recently, sure, 6, 3, 9. That's great. But then he went on a stretch in which 3, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, 3, 2. Like, very much don't like the fact that, if we look further on in this game log, wasn't getting there. Now, what has recently changed? Well, it does seem like he's been getting more minutes, 36, 37, 34. And so that's probably why the rebound prop is a lot higher, because the minutes have been there a lot more. And so I'm curious, I don't know college basketball too much. I follow it, but I would not consider myself an expert on it. Okay. I'm trying to shop the best lines that we have. And so I'm curious, is he getting more minutes because of the blowouts, or just like he's been playing better, so he's getting more run? Okay. So this is what it would seem like. Because Smith has been injured. Let's see here, game log, 211. Okay. And then Miles Kelly, 211. So he got injured in that game. So if he doesn't play, to me, it would seem like Miles Kelly would have a much better chance to get more minutes. and then thus get more rebounds. Once again, it does average 3.6 on the season. So it might depend on this. Okay, and Smith is currently doubtful. Okay, so that does make sense then. Let's look at the over and under for this one as well. It's weird. I think typically speaking, I like avoid ones if it's a blowout. This might be one in which I would maybe favor it a little bit more. Okay, it is. Okay. All right. So either way, it does seem like he's going to get his minutes. And if we look at the game log here, it does seem like he has been getting more minutes in games in which they are, kind of getting blown out. Thus, to me, he should have a greater chance to get minutes, thus get the rebound. Now, if you guys disagree with this, that's okay. Like, you don't have to make the prop. I'm just trying to give us the best lines right now for when that morning/afternoon, the first taco comes out. And right now, this is the best one that we're getting, as well as Grant Sherfield over 2.5 3-pointers made. And this is an interesting one. When I started out my morning research today, this was not one that was popping up. And then the number adjusted while I was doing the research to -140 here. So once again, I just want to remind people, before you make any of these props, just go ahead and check the line, especially in situations like this where we are trying to game the lines. We are making the best prop bets that we can on PrizePicks based off of the lines that are available, right? Just make sure to check this before you make it. If it's changed, don't make it. Pretty much. If it's changed not in our favor, don't make it. And if it has changed in our favor, it probably just won't be there. PrizePicks, Underdog, they do a great job tracking that stuff. But we can see 3 out of the last 5 games has been able to get over 3.5 3-pointers made. And let's just look at it. Like, he is someone that gets out there and chucks 9, 7, 8. Like, he is going to get out there and chuck some 3 balls. The last game against them, 12 3-ball attempts, did make 3, so you would have got the over there. So yeah, Grant's going to get out there and chuck, which I like to see. Playing a lot of minutes. Let's just check the game over and under. Projected to be a close game as well, so that is good. And for what it's worth, I do just want to call out a couple of discrepancies I saw when looking at points, rebounds, and assists. I don't really have a take on them. It's more for you guys if you guys choose to make these ones. So right now we got this one set at 24.5. Okay, but if we look on DK Sportsbook, we can see they have it set at 25.5. Now they are favoring the under at that point. -125, not huge. Okay, but it would seem that PrizePicks is slightly under here, or maybe you disagree with that and maybe you think this is too high. Then you would bet the under. That was just one I caught during the research. Typically speaking, I mean, there's not that many that are going to be off, and this was just one of them. And so here is the other one. And like I said, it's tough to know exactly what to do with this one. 16.5 for the over and under. But if we look at DK Sportsbook, we can see they have it set at 17.5 at -135. So one of these lines are probably wrong, but I did notice those 2 discrepancies. So I just want to point them out. If you guys find an edge to use those bets, good. If not, just ignore it. All right, so I can finally give a today's bet today because, well, I feel good enough about the lines that we're getting, and just based off of some of the research that I was able to do, it does seem like these are going to be the 2 most favorable ones. Once again, -140 odds. We like that. That's when we're gaining an edge on price. And I just want to remind people that with Taco Tuesday, what is our goal? Our goal is to have 5 bets hit. That way we are doing what we need to do to have a good Taco Tuesday day. Now, obviously, anything more than that is huge, okay? 6, we're profiting. 7, we're having a good day. And just a reminder, that video is out as well. Just how to beat Taco Tuesday, that video is out. So check that out if you guys haven't watched it yet. I feel like it's pretty good to show you guys how to game Taco Tuesday. And so one of the ways you game it is by chasing all the favorable bets that we get throughout the day and putting them together. And if you do that, you should be able to profit or at least break even. And so I think a good example of that was like 4 nights ago, I think now. We had like 5 really strong NHL bets. And actually the 2 strongest ones ended up missing. But they were all like over -140 for whichever bet that we were, favoring. And 3 out of the 5 hit. And so like if we were to use that with the Taco Tuesday, obviously 3 out of 5 hitting with the tacos hitting, that's a profitable day. We're happy about that and we're taking that. Okay, so that's kind of how we should go about gaming Taco Tuesday. All right, that's all for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give a like and subscribe. Let's have a good slate. Let's have a good Taco Tuesday. I will be coming out with that video later on today as well. All right, thanks for watching. As always, let's keep cashing.